Welcome to the Big Red Zone preview for January 12th. Cornell taking on the Princeton Tigers here at the Friedman Wrestling Center alongside Chris Harrington and Cornell assistant coach Damian Hahn. I'm Matt Schultz from 1160 ESPN. You can hear all our broadcasts all season long on 1160 ESPN and 1160ESPN.com. Brought to you every week by Advantage Sport and Fitness in the Trip Hammer Marketplace in Ithaca and D Squared Construction right here in Ithaca. Also Defenso, defend what you have built. Defenso, proud sponsor of Cornell Big Red Wrestling broadcast this year. Cornell taking on Princeton, Chris, and this is not one of the tougher ones Cornell's going to face this year. I don't want to be mean, but is Princeton going to score?
I don't think so. They've been shut out twice this year, and I don't see anything different in this match coming up. Yeah,
you look at it weight by weight. We start with 125 for Cornell, number 8, Nashawn Garrett. He's only lost 3 times all year against 24 wins. The freshman from Chico, California, looks to be a national title contender for sure. Damian, are you looking at Nashawn for bonus points this week against Max Rogers?
Yeah, absolutely. I think every match that he steps into, we're looking at bonus points. So nothing changes from any other week to this weekend. He's got to go out there. He's our spark plug, and he needs to go out and get this team fired up, put points on the board. So bonus points, absolutely.
And at 133, Bricker Dixon started the year at 125, but with Nashawn Garrett's emergence, he's slided back to 133 with Arujana in the lineup. Can Bricker Dixon continue to compete at 133?
Yeah, he needs to get bigger. He like you said, he started at 125, moving up to 33. He's a small 33 pounder. He needs to put a little more size on, get a little bit stronger, and he's going to compete. He's going to do fine. Once he kind of fills into that weight class. So I mean, we expect big things out of Bricker. He's no different than Nashawn or a Mike Nevinger or Kyle Dake. Our guys. If you're in the starting lineup, we expect you to go out there and win and put points on the board for our team.
And he'll be taking on Andrew Harai, a senior for the Tigers from Honolulu. Do you see Bricker winning that match?
Absolutely. I think he's come off a big win against Cruz. Cruz is coming off a big matchup at the Midlands, and from there, I think that's just a good confidence boost for him to kind of bolt forward. That was a match he was not supposed to win, so winning that match was huge for him. Maybe a turning point of the season.
Could possibly be. At 141 for the Big Red, it's Mike Nevinger, now ranked number 7 in the country. The junior from Perry, New York, was the number 7 finisher last year at NCAA, so only fitting that he's made it back to 7th this year in the country, but he's looking awfully good, Chris. He's been wrestling really, really well. It's going to be a tough day for Nick Maselli.
I agree 100%. One thing we do want to see out of Mike Nevinger is start to finish matches. There's been a couple of times where he's been able to score bonus points in matches, and he hasn't been able to finish opponents off. So that's one thing Mike Nevinger is going to need to do in this match is finish a match, wrestle full 7 minutes.
And we'll see if it is Maselli. Could be Kevin Moylan as well. Not really 100% on who goes for Princeton at 141. But if it is Maselli, Nevinger pinned him in 1 minute and 8 seconds earlier this season at the Binghamton Open. And that was when Nevinger wasn't wrestling good. And now he is wrestling good. So it could be a long day for Maselli. At 149, looks like Ryan Dunphy will be in the lineup once again. The junior from Little Falls, New Jersey, taking on Zach Bitliff, the senior from Princeton, probably the best guy in their lineup. Damian, is that one that could be a toss-up?
I'm going to say, if any guy that's in our lineup, we expect to win. So Ryan Dunphy, he's fun to watch. He goes out there, he competes, he throws it on the line every single match. He had a good match at the scuffle with Ness, scrapped it out to I think a 3 or 4 point loss. This past weekend down in Lehigh, he went to an overtime loss. So he's right there. I mean, he can compete with the best guys in the country. He needs to finish his takedowns. That's what it basically boils down to. Is he can get in, he can defend. I mean, he's good on all aspects of the sport. Basically he needs to finish a couple takedowns, and he's right there.
His knee's a little banged up too, so we'll see what is in store for Ryan Dunphy. Zach Bitliff, as I said, the senior from Gladstone, Missouri, possibly one of the better wrestlers for Princeton, and Bitliff did beat Ryan Dunphy at the Binghamton Open this year, 4-2. At 157, is it going to be Jesse Shannon in the lineup, David?
This weekend, no. Jesse, he wrestled last week at 165, so he weighed in a little heavy. So with the whole weight certification deal, he needs a certain amount of time to get back down to 157. So he will not be wrestling this weekend. We'll have Chris Dowdy back in the lineup, a freshman who's been basically our starter all season because of some injuries and whatnot. But going back to it, Chris Dowdy. He's a young, he's freshman, he's explosive. He should go out there and put points on the board. He's exciting to watch when he's wrestling. So it's a matter of pushing the right buttons with him and getting him to fire on all eight cylinders.
And he'll take on either Kyle Roddy or Seth Hazelton for the Tigers. Dowdy, a guy that's interesting, 12 wins this season. He's 12-8. But of those 12 wins, 9 have been by bonus points, and half of them, 6, have been by fall. So he's a guy that could potentially get the Big Reds some bonus points. 165, Chris, I'll let you take this one. Kyle Dink, number 1 in the country, just beat David Taylor again a couple of weeks ago. Big win at Lehigh, having to move up to 174 and take on a very good wrestler in Nathaniel Brown. The senior is undefeated, obviously. He's taking on Judd Ziegler, a freshman from Maryland for the Tigers. And Kyle Dink he just doesn't lose.
No, he doesn't lose, and you got to think this is looking for 6, and I was going to say a long day, but I think it could be a short day for the freshman.
Yeah, very well could be. At 174, Cornell looking for some spark. It's still not really a clear-cut winner of the 174-pound weight class within their own wrestling room. Duke Pickett, the freshman, Marshall Pepperman, the junior, although sophomore based on eligibility, going at it this year, and both offer very different things. Going up against Ryan Callahan of Princeton, Damien, who do you think is more likely to get the start there, Duke or Marshall?
We're not sure yet. It's been a good week of practice, hard week of practice. We're on break right now, so 2 days is what we're doing, and these guys both are vying for this spot. They both want to compete. They both want it. So, it's a tough decision. We were hoping to kind of, figure things out at the scuffle, but, one thing led to another, and they, didn't end up wrestling one another. The matchups weren't there, and this is not decided yet. You got 2 good guys, 2 young guys that want to compete. So it's going to be, we'll see how the match is going, and then we'll make that decision as it gets close.
And 2 guys that wrestle very different styles. Duke Pickett is more of a keep it close, win a 2-1, 4-3 kind of match. Marshall's a guy who will get on top and go to work and could potentially look for a pin or something like that. But then they're both still experiencing growing pains, both still young guys, so we'll see who ends up going. 184, not much of a question. Who's going to go? Steve Bozak, ranked 4th in the country. Back-to-back losses for Mr. Bozak, certainly not something he's used to experiencing, but he did take on 2 incredible wrestlers in a row. Ed Ruth, ranked 1st in the country from Penn State, and Lehigh's Robert Hamlin, who just kind of has Bozak's number over the years. But Bozak's taking on Scott Gibbons, a freshman for Princeton. It looks like possibly a bonus point win for him too.
Yeah, we expect nothing less, and I don't think Steve's the same way. He's going out there to put 6 points on the board. Wrestling freshman. There's no reason why he doesn't go out there and pleases the fans. So Steve's a senior. Returning national champ. He's got to go out there and do his job.
Steve's a pinner, so you could probably look for him to at least get some near fall points in that match, if not work for that pin. At 197, really the match I'm looking most forward to on Saturday, because Jace Bennett had a real bad outing at Lehigh. He did not look good, Chris. He's going to be taking on Charles Fox, who we've seen over the years at both heavyweight and 197. Princeton's had some shuffling. If he doesn't get down to 197, they may not even have a guy to wrestle that match. Fox may end up at heavyweight, but if we do see Fox against Bennett, I mean, he's a guy I gotta imagine is gonna come out fired up after the way he performed at Lehigh.
Well, I think Cornell's looking for consistency out of Jace Bennett. He goes out, he beats a nationally ranked guy, then he will go out and lose to a guy with a losing record. So consistency is the key here, and Bennett needs to right the ship this week. I'm sure the coaching staff wasn't too pleased with Lehigh. And this is a good match to get back at it. Fox is a veteran, and so hopefully he can right the ship here against Princeton.
Without a doubt. And the last match of the day, heavyweight, Stryker Lane, the senior for Cornell, has been having a pretty good year, beat Applet of Michigan, a good win on his resume. And he'll be taking on another freshman for the Tigers, Cole Lampman, out of Clifton Park, New York. Is Stryker a guy that, what are you looking for out of him right now, Damien?
Just to keep improving. I think every year he's been here, he's made little improvements. And I'll be honest with you, I think it's been a little slower than we anticipated as a staff, but he's making those improvements, and he's getting better on his feet. His position's always been top. So he gets a takedown. He can ride anybody out in the country. But it's a matter of getting better on his feet. He's been doing that. He's making the progress, putting in the extra time that he needs to do, and just keep on improving. By the end of the year, he should be rip roaring, ready to go to nationals, and I mean, anybody can place a heavyweight. There's no question about it. You know, after the top couple guys, it's wide open. I really do believe that. So, and he's a guy that he can get in there.
Well, the last time Cornell lost to Princeton, nobody in either room was even born yet. It was 1985-1986 season. Princeton was 6-0 Ivy champion. It's been a long time since the Tigers have come away with a win. We expect it to be lopsided, but you never know. That's why they wrestle the matches. You can listen to all the coverage Saturday the 12th. We'll have it for you at 1160 ESPN and 1160ESPN.com. For Chris Harrington and Damian Hahn, I'm Matt Schultz. Thanks for joining us today on the Big Red Zone Preview, brought to you by Advantage Sport and Fitness, D Squared Construction, and Defense Soap. Defend what you have built.